Hello guys, my name's One True Griff. This is now the 15th take. This is amazing. Every single time I do this fucking commentary, I overrun the video by quite a lot. Because I just can't help talk. I had the same problem in the presentation a couple of weeks ago. Loads have been... I'll get onto the whole presentation thing in a second. There's been so much to be done for my university course. It's amazing the amount of effort that I've put in the last couple of weeks. I never expected to need to put in this much effort in the first year. Maybe second or third, not in the first year. But the effort's been put in. I'm happy with the amount of effort we put in, and we hope to reap the rewards. Which is a lesson to all the kids out there, teenagers, whatever it is. If you're at school, stay in school because you will need it. You won't need the skills that you learn in high school. You may do. They help you move on a little bit, let's face it. But you need those skills because they help you get into college, they help you get into university, and that's where you learn your craft and get your job. So you must stay in school in order to do the best you can in life. If you don't put the effort in, you will not reap the rewards. So stay in school, children. That is your lesson for today. Now you can just enjoy the clips. But for those of you who aren't just here for these amazing clips like this one that's just come up, because this is one of my favourite ones in this whole recording. Back to sort of like what's been going on. A couple of presentations I've needed to do. I talked about one on one of the videos. It was my Beaver presentation. Well, we had to do one a couple of weeks ago, which was a little bit, just the tiniest little bit. If I had video on, you'd be able to see my finger. My finger and thumb are so close to touching. It had to be a little bit more serious because it had to be on a product that we'd actually designed for ourselves. We'd had to do everything we have to do: the marketing, design on the manufacturing process, design the whole thing, which was my job. We had to think about costs, how much we were going to sell it for, how much we were going to spend on advertising. There is so much work done in industry for something as simple as, say, a screwdriver. You would not believe the amount of work that goes on in the background for something like that. Or a piece of tape, say duct tape, or gaffer tape, whatever you want to call it. There's so much work behind the scenes that you don't see. You just see the product itself, and does it do its job? Yes. Great product. Now, is it cheap? Yes, right, I'm going to buy that product over others. There's so many considerations that have got to be taken into account. And we had to I had to design this product as part of the group of 5. I was named lead designer because so far this year I've been determined to be really, really good at designing. I've already set a record for the university in terms of designing an aluminium support structure. Absolutely decimated the previous 6-year-old record. I mean decimated by, I improved on it by another 50%. So it was 2. If I just give basic values, it was 2.3. It's now 3.3. So I completely demolished it. So I got asked to actually design the product. I came up with an idea of what we should do for a product, and then because it was my idea, I was asked, right, you design it because you're clear in your head exactly what you want to do for it. So I was like, oh yeah, okay. But it just happens that that's the biggest job. There's so much thought into it. And all the other jobs of, okay, you've got to think about materials. Well, there's only so many materials. There's only so many that actually do the function. So you've got guidelines, you've got restrictions. Accounting, you can't do, there's other people on the market. Okay, how much do they cost? Right, we'll aim at the cheap end of the spectrum, so on. When you are designing the thing, you have ideas of what you want to achieve in your head. But there's no guarantee that it'll work out, or other people will think in the right lines, or whether people will think it's a good idea. So there's a lot of pressure and a lot of freedom, which can be a pro or a con depending on how you look at it. And that's where all my focus has been the last few weeks, is just making sure that it was the best design that I could do. And I was changing it right up until 3 days before we actually did the presentation. I say 3 days. I was changing it on the Friday when the presentation was the following Monday. But we got the design changed. I was happy with it. I am still happy with it, although I still think I can make some changes. But it's already kind of been submitted. No point changing it now. I have to do a write-up for it, which I've done. Well, there's a formal report. I've done my bit on the technical specifications. Other people have to talk about their crappy-ass jobs of materials and accounting, like I said. And so I've done my bit. It just needs to be submitted on Thursday. I have another report for the aluminium bridge one, which is also due in on Thursday, but I've done 2/3 of that, so that's nearly out the way. I'm just waiting on a graph to finish, so I can talk about the graph and finish off the report. And the other thing is a logbook on the previous project. Just about, okay, how did my ideas come along? What time period did things happen? That sort of thing. And I've just got to put all my drawings and sketches in. And once that's done, that's it. I'm off then for 6 weeks. A 6-week Christmas vacation, Christmas break. And you know what I'm going to do for 6 weeks? I'm going to game. I've literally spent all my time. If I went through the games that I've played in the last 5 weeks, they would read about 10 games of Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer since the first couple of days when it came out. So 10 games of Modern Warfare 3, about 4 games of Battlefield 3. I completed all of Skyrim, and I completed the second half of Final Fantasy IX playthrough that I started about 6 months ago, and then got distracted by games such as Batman Arkham City, and it just kept on going. So I'm just going to play those to death. I'm going to start the stream going again, because I do miss streaming, even though I know we're not getting massive amount of viewers, and I don't care. I really, really don't. I just do it because I think it's fun, and I like, especially if you do what I want to do. Because I've just finished Final Fantasy IX, the first thing that comes into my head is I want to do a Final Fantasy X playthrough. And I thought, whilst I still want to do Modern Warfare 3 streams and Battlefield 3 streams, I'd love to do a Final Fantasy X stream. Because it's coming out as an HD remake, and in the next year or so, and that's going to be brilliant. But not many people have actually either played it or have played it in a while. So I'm considering doing a live Let's Play of that. So if you're interested, let me know, or even if you don't let me know, I'll probably still end up doing it, and I'll just put something on the channel to let people know. We'll probably end up doing it with a Twitter account or something. But if you go onto the twitch.tv, which is www.twitch.tv/OneTrueGriff, all one word, you'll be able to follow me, and every time that I go online, it'll be announced, and you can come online and have a watch, and see where I am at the playthrough, and we'll try and watch your favourite bits. If you have any other games that you'd want me to try and stream, I'm more than happy to, as long as I've got a copy of it. My name's OneTrueGriff, and I'll see you later.